You got to have some fun. You got to learn to laugh. If you don't learn to laugh, you're going to be crying all the time. Don't nobody want to see all those tears. It's already hard, my brothers and sisters. Laugh a little. Get off the bench and come on out in the playing field and have some fun. We're going to go away anyway, so you might as well go away and say, I had a little bit of fun. Praise God. Let's pray. Father, thank you. Thank you, Lord, for this is the day that you've made, and I will rejoice, Lord God. Lord, I thank you for, Lord, the identity that you've given us, Father, that we are a chosen generation, and we thank you for that, Lord, and we just give you glory, honor, and praise. In Jesus' holy name we pray. Amen. Brothers and sisters, you are a royal priesthood. You are both king and priest in God. Revelations 1, 5, and 6 tells us, oh my God, yes it does. We are instruments that God can use. Acts chapter 9 and 15 says, but the Lord said unto him, go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me, to bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. You are a chosen generation, brothers and sisters. Let no one steal your identity. Listen, don't let someone sell you, or don't get so hungry that you trade your birthright for a cup of soup or porridge. Don't do it. Jacob and Esau, listen, you know the story. Don't get so hungry that you'll eat anything. Don't get so hungry that you'll beg for nothing just to satisfy something that is going to pass. Oh, my God. My God. You got to remember, the blood of Jesus Christ can forgive sin and wash away all of your sin forever. There is power in the blood. Revelation 1, 5, and 6 says, and from Jesus Christ, who is the faithful witness and the first begotten of the dead and the prince of the kings of the earth, unto him that loved us and washed us from our sins in his own blood, and has made us kings and priests unto God and his Father. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Praise God. You are a royal priesthood. You are both king and priest in God. Brothers, God has given us so much, and the enemy is trying to blindside you. He's trying to make you think that, you know what, you're just a mistake. You ain't nothing. But Hebrews 12 and 10 says, for they indeed, for a few days, chastised us, seems best to them, but he for our profit, that we may be partakers of his holiness. We are a holy nation, a peculiar people, peculiar. People look at you and say, man, there's something wrong with you. Yeah, there's something wrong with me, man. I'm a peculiar person. Dan, I'm peculiar. Woo, praise ye the Lord, my brothers and sisters. We need to realize who we are. 1 Corinthians 1 and 27 says, but God has chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and God has chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. God has made you so strong, but you need to know. Get out of that mess. There's a way out of that mess, and it's JESUS.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey, folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning, and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Rome, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
All right, guys, here we are. Another Thursday. David West, Stars and Stories, the Kaz Walker Show. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you this morning?
Morning. We're here.
Everybody's here and accounted for, I reckon. What's that?
My special guest this morning is Barney.
My special guest is Howard.
Well, there you go.
And Howard, who's your special guest?
David Earl.
All right, well, Ron.
Everybody is.
I've got 3 special guests.
I'm happy to have you.
Mo and Curly.
That's it.
I'll be Curly.
So how's everything been going this week, guys?
Barney brings up to date on things.
Well, I enjoyed the show last week. I enjoyed Phyllis being in here. And I came in and seen the crowd, and I thought, I'm going to the car and listen to it. I went back to working, but that was good.
We didn't know you were here.
Yeah.
He was sneaking around.
I stood right there and watched most of it, but I'll tell you this. She has some great stories, Kim, and those are great, and I know Ron knows them well, but those are... It's amazing the treasures we've got in East Tennessee.
Boy, you're not kidding.
It is.
She is one of the sweetest people I've ever met in my life.
Mm-hmm.
She's mean as a snake. Who are you kidding?
She starts talking about her husband. She clouds up.
Yeah. You can tell she loved him.
Tears in her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But those stories and all that. So I'm mowing this week, and I'm here, and after the fire's gone, comes on, I'm sitting there thinking about, a lot of people don't know the stories behind those songs like that.
Yeah.
And
I know
it come on while I was out there mowing, and I was thinking about that. But this East Tennessee, it's a treasure, man.
Yeah. Look, Elliot White wrote, I forget how many, he had 400-something songs recorded.
What'd she say Kim wrote? 7,000?
7,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is, I've got 12, maybe.
I think it's...
Lord Gene said one time, I remember it was after, maybe and David said, how about you think Ken Williams said, I hate him?
Yeah, I love him. She said, I hate him. I said, you hate him? She said, yeah. I wish it'd been me, that's Helen. I told Kim that one day.
Yeah.
I told him about that, and he laughed. He said, boy, she's a good rider. I said, pretty good.
Somebody was talking about that the other day about playing, and I think they said they started playing when they was 3 years old. I've told y'all many times before, but it's that gift that you have of that stuff of writing or of playing music.
Yeah.
And somebody said, I forget who they were interviewing. Somebody was interviewing somebody the other day, and I heard them talking about playing music, and they can play several instruments, and said, I just come to me, and they play by ear. They don't have to sheet music.
Just comes to me.
I hate you people. me and Howard hate you all. Like my friend said, in the name of Jesus, we hate you. No.
That's like he said, Chet said, do you read music? He said, not enough to mess up my plan.
Did Luke read music?
Who?
Luke.
Oh, backwards and forwards and crossways.
So he could read music.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but he
Okay.
could read every. I can read the Nashville system. That's how I ever learned. I can read a little bit, but I can't sit there and play by it.
Mm-hmm.
Luke could play by any music is wrote, plus the Nashville system, and he could write it himself. He just sit down and chart it out for you. See, they chart it out when you go and do a record and they hand it to you.
Right.
And you can see where the chord changes are, minors. And the Nashville music is, it's really good. It's just something they sit down and
It's a numbers system.
Yeah.
You go by the numbers.
See, there's 7 natural chords.
And your first
And whichever
chord.
you start is number 1.
Yeah.
We always think A would be number 1. Well, if you was going to play A, it would be number 1. But look here, A is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, if you were playing G,
Yeah.
that's the last one.
G's the number 1.
A would be 2, and G would be number 1. Wherever you start is number 1, and the next one goes right back to B.
I'll get me a lawyer and a 10-year-old to show me how to do that. I know you got Rome County listeners, and do you remember Frank Wakefield? the mandolin player that was from, he was from Roane County. So a few years ago, they brought him back. I was doing a thing called, I think it's a Hooray for Harriman. Brad will remember this.
Yeah.
But we were doing it down there, so they brought him back. He was out in California. He was big with, I saw him. I'm trying to think of his name. I can see his, not Jerry Garcia, but he was big in Americana music.
Mm-hmm.
But Frank was out in California, so he's here, and so I got to do some stuff. And they actually had me come up and pretend like I could play the harmonica with him on stage. And so I got to talking to him a little bit, and I don't even know if Frank's still living or not, but he was elderly then. This 15 years ago. So I asked him about music and stuff like that, and he played that mandolin. He wore it out. And he said he just picked it up and started playing it. And he I don't know if I should say this or not, but I think he told me he couldn't even write. I'm talking about write, not music, write.
He couldn't read or write.
Right. And so, and in fact, I've got his autograph, and it you could tell, but it was amazing that people like that are not.
He can't read and write, but he can.
Oh yeah.
Write music.
And he could hear stuff, and he could just, if you were playing, he'd pick it right up in there. So
talent.
Yeah, those things that's a gift, man. I'm gonna tell you something. That is a gift that I wished I had.
Yeah, Luke Brand was too nice a guy to even have that much talent.
I really didn't care much for Luke.
Well,
Well, Luke will let you know how much he knows. He never played over maybe just a little bit. Just say, Ellie said that they'd get down to Nashville, and he'd get over with Chet and Luke, because it's all around Conway Studio, and said, or Chet's one, and said, Chet get a lot of them guitar pickers, especially new ones. Yeah. They thought this was pretty good, and said he'd call Luke, come on, let's go over. Luke go over and said he'd sit down, and Chet would start a tune, pretty good hard tune. Mm-hmm. And he said in a minute, Chet would back off. He'd be giving, you Luke. No, he'd let all of them play it, but Luke played it last every time. And said, Ducky, Chet just laid his guitar down, and they had their circle going. And said every time that Luke played it, it was a little bit better. He didn't go much over you. He wouldn't embarrass you.
Yeah.
I've been on stage with him, and he showed me so much stuff, and it would get my mind. I could go another step forward in that same track. Mm-hmm. I've been on stage and play something and hit another note we didn't put in there, and he'd say, "Give me another break on it."
Give me another break.
I'm talking about if he was singing. He wanted to play two breaks. He wanted to add that and then one more. That's just where he was. I mean, many of the time. I mean, he forgot more than his bad dreams than I could play.
You've heard the expression "iron sharpens iron."
Yeah.
And it's like a good competition. You made the statement about this about competition. So it's like Tennessee football right now. They're practicing. Well, they're both offense and defense is really good. Well, that helps both of them when they're good like that. And same way you was talking about guitar stores. You said, I wish they'd move right across the street, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
It's like why you see McDonald's and Burger Kings and all these other restaurants right beside
I
each other.
took me to death if one of them big chains like Guitar Center or somebody. I told them many times, I wish you'd get them rock.
I started saying they'd have to clear that bank.
I said, put a fancy store. It's kind of like a Jew said. Here's what it was. The Jew says, I will trade nickels with you all day long. Even. After a while, somebody's going to make a mistake. It ain't going to be me. and Ron knows, we've done enough commercials. You couldn't undersell me. Just like I told you about the guitar, I give the guy this, bought his steak, then went 10 more below that one, see? I would have, if I'd had lost $100, I'd beat him. I wouldn't say no.
Phyllis had a good question for you the other day, how you got started on the Kaz Walker show.
Yeah. This fella come in one time, and I sold him an old junkie fiddle for about $30. And they said, how you doing? Oh, I just come in here and done got took. Charged me $30 this old fiddle. And I said, that's too cheap. I'm going to buy it back. Here's your 31. Whenever I do, like Mr. Walker, crazy stuff, he said, no, you ain't getting it for 31. I had another guy come in and said, well, I sold my Martin. I said, you did? He said, I sold it too cheap. And another guy taught me this, and I said, what'd you sell it for? He said, $2,500. I said, well, will you give that for it back? He said, no. I said, you didn't sell it too cheap.
That's the truth, though.
This man said, you don't always figure out if you sold something too cheap.
Would you buy it back?
I did sell one of my prized guns one time, shotgun. I sold it. I think it was for $600. I thought that was big. And after I sold it, I got thinking about it, and I wanted it back. So I called the guy up and said, you don't sell that shotgun? He said, I won't sell it much, David. I like it, and then I got you. I said, I'll give you $700 for it. He said, nah, better not. I said, $800. I got it to $1,000. I said, now, he said, you going to be mad at me? But I said, no, I ain't going to be mad. You ought to be happy, but I'll be happy too, because I got what I want. You still get the money if you take it. No, you keep it. Don't sell it for $1 million if you don't want to. But I'm just telling you, somebody might come along and offer you $1,000 for it. I'll get it to you right now for it back. Well, he didn't sell it. It went about 2 or 3 days, and a guy come in with an older one in mint shape, just like it, and traded it to me for a guitar or something. I don't know. I bought it for me. Usually I just buy them from him, and if it's something I wanted, I'd get a. This guy came in there with a Z28 one time, and it was just practically new. I said, I'll give you whatever the card ought to give you for it. And he told me it was what it was back in those days, 14,000, I believe. Well, he said, I want to order some Martins. He ordered him some Martins, and I just kept adding on his bill. And when we got down, I owed him $1,300. He had ordered. And what I done, see, when those guitars come in, I bought them and paid for them. Wrote a ticket on him, but I paid the cash for them, or put a check in for them. Well, then when I got Artie, they said, what about this? And I said, well, I paid for them and traded them to him. And I said, they said, oh, that's legal. So I go to the courthouse, and they said, how do you trade on this? So I said, I'm over $1,300 on taxes now. I said, I didn't pay sales tax on all that other money. I bought these guitars, and they let it. They turned it down, but I wrote and told the governor down it was a quarter at that time. He said, no, you done okay. And he made the Attorney General call me. And he said, no, you paid the tax. You bought that and handed it to him. He said, you didn't pay sales tax on it. So.
Difference between me and David, I bought a Suburban one time for $16,000. Had it a year and a half. I sold it for $8,000. I'm terrible at trading.
You know how to make money, don't you?
Yeah, you got it.
No, I know how to give money away. No. I was like, I don't need it.
Well, I meant for somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, somebody.
Yeah, I helped other people. It's a ministry with me.
You know what my daddy told me?
I'm out there trying to help.
My daddy told me when I was a little boy, he said, David, don't worry about money. There ain't nothing lost in trading. If you don't get it, that other guy gets it. Isn't it?
Somebody gets it.
Somebody wins at it.
Somebody gets it every time.
I'll tell you, the preacher, Charles Stanley, a lot of you remember Charles Stanley. Charles made a great statement one time talking about purchases. People, they'll make a purchase, and then they fret over it after. He says, once you've done it, forget it. Forget it. Right. Don't beat yourself up, Mm-hmm. So I've had to use that philosophy a lot. Yeah. So I'm a terrible trader. If you want to have sucker on my forehead, if you want to buy something from me.
I tell you, I had a trader out of right up towards Michigan. He was in Ohio, but he was right up close to the line. He was a good trader. I mean, he's in Nashville now, and I don't know how to get a hold of him because I got a lot of stuff he's like that, but he was a good trader. And, it's like fighting or anything. If you can get the guy thinking he's better than you, or you might
got up, leg up. Mm-hmm.
So, he laid one on me as heavy. And of course, he come back, and I said, buddy, I'm going to tell you something. I knew he didn't hit more, but I bought $1, whatever it was, knives or watches or something. Because one time I think I forget how many 100, 500 maybe for watches. He said, because I collected them back in these, I said, buddy, if you got any more of that stuff like you sold me for it was, and he said, no, I ain't got a bit. I said, boy, I wish you had that. I said, that's just exactly what I need. I made a fortune off that. You did. So he noted it was hard to sell, and it would. I don't know what, I probably still had it. But I said, I'd like to have some more. And so he got his gaps down there, so then I could start trading with him. I could keep up, man, and I got caught up too. But then him as traders, man, he could buy stuff. And I used to just buy stuff. I went in when Spacey used it, Star Sales for a pretty good while.
80 to 86.
I walked in, and that was in the habit. If I wanted something, I wanted it maybe real bad. Sometimes it's real bad. I walked in there. Y'all had the best selection of knives
Oh
of
yeah,
anybody.
yeah.
We had it.
We helped set up great Smoky Mountain Knife Works.
Okay.
I mean, we helped.
Yeah, you had a Frost.
Oh yeah, Frost Cutlery.
Frost cutlet. It was about 4 feet high. A cabinet. Remember that cabinet?
Oh, I do. I remember it well.
And I walked up, and there was one knife in there I wanted bad. I wasn't even going to carry it. I just wanted it.
Yeah.
I said, I want that knife right there. And they went behind. That thing had gobs of knives in the back.
Yeah.
And didn't have that one. The only one they had is what's on display. They said, the only one we got's on display. I said, well, get it off for me and I'll give you double. They went back and talked to the manager, and he said, no, we can't. We have to have it show till we get them in.
Yeah.
And I said, go back there to that manager, come up here, who it was.
Zeke Freeman, probably.
Yeah.
Billy Joe helped you. But...
Billy Joe helped me, okay.
Yeah.
Billy Joe, I believe in it. I said, he might have to go back there and ask. And he said, that's what he take for that knife cabinet and all the knives that's in it. And he had a load of knives, so I bought it. Then I kept it, wouldn't take that knife out after I bought it. Wouldn't even take it off display because I wanted it on display.
Did you keep it out there at the store?
I had that big, I had it in the store in my office.
Okay.
You probably didn't see it. And that same guy that was telling you that, he come in there and fell in love with it. And I told him, it's on way up there, several $100 to pay for that thing.
Yeah.
And I put on about $500 tickets, above. He said, what would you take? I said, I don't sell it. I just bought it not long ago. He kept on there. It kept going up a little bit, and I said, I take it on. So I sold him. Never did get that knife.
No, that guy that you're talking about, Zeke, that was over our knives over there, he, later on, I was doing Barney it was a senior center somewhere. I don't think it was at Ashley's. It's somewhere. But I saw this gentleman over in the corner, and you could tell he had a little bit of dementia. And it was Zeke. And I went over to him, and I was dressed as Barney, and I said, Zeke, you don't remember me, but we used to work together at Star Sales. And he looked up at me, and he goes, Barney? No, not Barney. I said, I'm saying, man. And I don't know if he remembered me or not. But, yeah, he was a gentleman. Yeah, but Billy Joe was, I know he helped you a lot, but Billy Joe, I ran into him just a few years before he passed away here. He just passed away just a few years ago.
Nice guy.
Great guy. Worked with him. Great group of people we worked with there. But,
David said, how you want to trade? David's just like, you ain't got one.
And they come in there, most people, my phone, call everybody. I ain't going to sit and listen to you. You talk to them. And then you hook my neck and buy this thing. I mean, I've had people sit down and call all over. Lord, you beat them $300.
Yeah.
I said, well, that's what I'm here for.
Old timers used to call that being a straight shooter.
This one guy come in. Oh, he said, I was talking to a fella. He said, David WYSH has just ruined the value of Martin guitars. Selling us a cheap. That guy said, what's wrong with you? I couldn't even buy one if I hadn't remember David WYSH. He's the one that had in my category, my billfold.
Yeah. But they would have them up front. I mean, they won't trade whatever they had. Of course, they always want more than what's worth. Yeah. And they just tell me, say, now, you better off you go sell yours. And then come back and buy mine, because I can't give you what you think you got to have for it.
Yeah.
Well, they keep on. Well, I don't do that. I'm just, how you trade? We'll trade. So,
and see, a lot of
them told them up front.
A lot of them say, I give $1,000 for this, and I said, well, I can't give you but maybe $300 or $400 for it. I said, you got took, and if I do that, I'll be getting took.
Yeah.
And I said, ain't no use both of us getting took.
And I'm not going to get took.
I get it.
You talk about watches. It's funny. I just got a text from somebody there telling me about they're getting an appraisal on a Rolex watch, wanting it on their scheduled on their homeowners. I'm like, well, get a good estimate.
There's a Rolex man right there.
There's a Rolex man.
Yeah. I don't know. Mine was a Rolodex. I actually did have a watch at Star Sales we bought one time. You remember, is it Bulova? Bulova?
There's a Bulova watch, yeah.
Well, these were Bolivia's. I'm serious. Because we would buy, they opened the floodgates when I was at Star. We used to, with China.
Did you work with Chris Hedrick out there? Was he out there?
He must have come after me. I was there from 80 to 86. Yeah. But the watches and the jewelry, but they had a watch in there, and it was a Bolivia. It wasn't Bulova. and instead of a Seiko, it was Senko, Senko, I believe. So it looked like they were knockoffs. And I don't know if they had at the time. When did Rolexes come out?
Oh, they've been out forever.
Okay, I don't know if they had. I don't think they
17,
had
1800s.
Not at Star Sales, but they.
They come out one named Pulsar, wasn't it?
Pulsar, I remember that.
Pulsar, I remember
Good
those.
watch. It's just, it's a slow end.
I never could wear a watch. Hard to believe this, but I'm painfully thin.
I'm wearing a Ron Meredith watch now.
That's them Hamiltons.
Is.
That's
an old Pacer.
Ventura, ain't it?
Is that the Ventura? Yeah.
I'm going to bring you said my Rolex was pretty high, ain't it?
It was. I thought you sold it.
No, I still got it. It's Roger. They sold Roger's. He passed away and they sold it.
The gold one? Which one are you talking about? Which
Roger
one?
White. You remember Roger?
Yeah.
Roger passed away?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, your buddy
28 G's.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
For that one that he.
That's what the jewelry store paid him for.
Yeah.
Some jewelry store.
That's
This guy's getting his appraised at Kimball's. That's where he got his. Kimball's, I guess.
Yeah, they won't cut them too much, do they, Mark?
No, they'll go up in value after a while. They increase. Yeah, they're like a market.
Did you look mine up? It was a pretty high dollar watch.
When I got
But the reason mine, they quit making it, didn't they, or something?
Which one?
Is it small?
You talking about the Rolex, the presidential,
Yeah.
the gold one? Yeah, it's a mid-size. Excuse me, a mid-size. Too big for a woman, too small for a man. So they
It's got to be just separate. I don't like. I
It's
like
too- yeah.
size.
Yeah.
That guy tried to buy it back from me. He offered me a big profit on it back. But I just like it when I do. I wear it,
Yeah, that's a pretty watch. I like it
I
too.
wear it a little bit on Sunday. I never did get in. This is my favorite watch.
How old is that watch?
I don't know about Ron. When did they start making that?
They started making them in 1957.
But I mean, this.
I don't know when they made those.
Of course,
Those
I don't know.
the 90s.
I've got the other one too.
You're like me. That
I got
big
the gold
one. The
one.
car I'm driving, it's got 420,000 miles on it.
But I like this. I got from Ron Burn. I do the gold one.
Yeah.
This one's gold plated or field.
Yeah, that's Goldfield.
But it's a really good watch. I mean, it stays right on.
Mm-hmm.
I get more comments on that, and they say, "What is that?"
I bought an original with the 507 movement. I bought another Pacer the other day. I found it. I got a Pacer working in good condition for $500, which is outrageous. That's what we paid for that one that you're wearing right now.
Oh, that's
The original ones are more like about $1,000, $1,500. So.
Wow. When you, like on Martin guitars, when I was in the apparel business, like Cutter and Buck was a pretty well, it's more out in the general market now, but it was an exclusive line. And we'd have a price list that we could not sell below a certain price list. Now, does Martin do that with, I just want
yeah, you have to sign a paper if you won't.
Yeah.
You can't advertise. You can sell it, but you can't advertise it.
I got you.
And if you walked in the store, see, sometimes sued them for that, and they call it price fixing. And Gibson cut a dealer or two off.
Yeah.
He wasn't falsely. He wasn't advertising under
But he
what
sold
he
it.
signed. You sign a contract, you will not do that. And so Gibson, somebody sold it. They wasn't advertising. They just sold it. And I forget how many $1,000 Gibson had to pay this other store for that. But see, like Ron, we went around to a commercial. We didn't say what we were going to sell it for. He says if you can find a Martin guitar cheaper than us, we'll buy you a steak dinner.
Right.
So he's cheaper than us. So
That covered us both ways.
so we buy. That's it. When that guy come in on that steak dinner, he went and got $1 cheap for some other store, and he had that paperwork. He wrote it up. Well, this is one. And I said, "Good night, everybody. Come in here." It was on a Saturday too. I said, "Everybody come in here and gather around. We got a winner." Everybody run in and see what you're gonna give away. I said, "We got a commercial out. If you can sell us on a Martin guitar, we'll buy you a steak dinner." And I said, "This fella's he's getting $1 cheaper." I said, "Let's give him a hand, get him a big hand." I made a big issue out of it.
Yeah.
And I said, "Now here's your $10." Back and says the steak was going.
Yeah.
You get big steak for $10. Probably the best he had for about $8. I said, "Here's him a $10 bill. Let's give him a hand. He's gonna get a steak dinner." Now, listen to the next deal. I'm gonna go $10 under these people.
That's what he.
I said, "Are you really wanting a Martin or not?" And he said, "Go get it. I want it right now." And he bought it.
How about that?
He said, "No, he said, "You're sparing your word." That was a cat's walker. I learned him. He said, "It's better for you to lose." Mr. Walker said, "It's better if you lose $50 or $100 in front of a crowd of people and show them how much you'll do than it is to spend $700-800 on paper ads for somebody you don't know whether they're going to read it or not.
Yeah.
He's so smart, see? I listened to everything he said. I just drunk it down.
Every time you tell about them Walker dogs, I think of that story. You know, he's talking about the one, you can't buy this one here.
Yes, it's my dog.
Yeah, that's right.
Dog.
But to jack up the prices on them, but he'd get another one and say that was his dog then. But that story about the guy going in there to the lady going in to buy a turkey for Thanksgiving, you know that story. It's a joke about I want the 3 pound and the 5 pound, and they pulled out the same turkey. You only had one. He said, well, I want to take both of them.
I just take both. No, I'm saying one from Miss Jones down the street.
Yeah. You get caught.
I'll tell you one he told, but he told it on somebody else, but it could have been him. He said they put a broom, I told you that before, it's a cash register, and everybody come through there bought any sizable amount of groceries, not just about a handful. If you bought a buggy of groceries, they tacked that broom on it. See? And of course, if somebody caught it, they'd say, you got a broom on you. I didn't get no broom before they got out of the store, see?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't? How'd that get on there? Oh, there's such one. They probably thought that was just one they had just sitting there they was going to use. Yeah, I'll just take it off. You know, here. I'll just give you $1 back. I think it's $1 back then, the broom would.
Yeah.
He said, if you had how many hundreds of dollars that big chain store took in off a broom.
People don't look at receipts or anything like that. You know, people say, you want a receipt? And I say, no, I always get my receipt and look at it.
He lost maybe 1 out of 100. That's a lot. That'll make a lot of money back. This was back in the old days, older days.
Well, money was money.
You know, it's a sight though what people can do. I got some.
When he first started downtown there, his little store, where you build a supermarket, he actually done that on Saturday. He would get on the roof and throw off live chicken or live turkey, and people gather and they caught him. I mean,
They got him.
But yeah, that's how he actually first started.
Yeah, hens and turkeys.
Yeah.
You know, this friend of mine that they haul coal out of Kentucky, and that's before the interstate, and they come by Ciderville, and I always stop at Ciderville, get them some cider or something to drink. Because when you left Clinton, you get to Ciderville, and then you had to get to Knoxville before you're going to get anything else. They just stop at the surf station. And they said, I always stop there. And every one of them had them big old 55, 6, 7, 8 Chevrolet trucks with a berth. Go back, he said, that way we got a load more ways. And said we slept in the trucks. We couldn't afford to stay nowhere, you know, to stay all night. But the time we got where we were going to get loaded, it stopped both ways. Watermelon, sometimes we buy some watermelon, we sold them to him. And he said, we'd get a load of coal. And he said, we'd charge him for maybe 10 ton. We only had 8 ton on there. Had the big single out from Chevrolet. All of them drove Chevrolets. Had that bird. That's where I got that idea. Put the bird on the hood of my truck. I got one on that new dump truck. I got to light up the wing, got the blue one, the lights on. And he said, what they would do, he said, I never did do this, and I don't guess he did because he was always straight honest with me. He said, what they do, they go and back up, and the guys say, oh, my coal here, and they see a stump, and they back up and quick and dump it on top of that stump. It looked like it's a lot more coal. They didn't catch it, it was too small a load.
Right.
Sure, I must put you extra on that thing this time. You said they try to dump it on stumps or a big rock or something where to make it flush up. He said it's a sight the way them boys cheated on everything. He said he's talking about one of them showed me a lot of my road stuff. You know, oh, he's a hot banjo picker. He could really pick. And he could do a lot of Sonny Oliver stuff, and I learned some of that and wove it into my style.
Yeah.
And Sonny liked it when he found out I was picking some of his stuff. Ron called him that time. He said, asked him why I bought his banjo, and he said, well, you're one of his heroes. And on top of that, he just loves the way you pick. So he did all your stuff. And said, another thing, he had the money to buy it with, I guess.
He played a lot of soul. He do those, what do you call them, where you hammer down or whatever?
Rolls.
Yeah, I get, where you pull off
of it. Hammer.
Yeah, well, he's good at that. You was talking about the, I'll tell you something people need to guard against. People uses an app on their phone to order food. be careful doing that, because I did one the other day at a little place. I get a sandwich and a little smoothie thing. It's supposed to be good for you anyway. But I got my ticket, and I got to looking. Well, they add a tip on it. Well, I get out of my car, I walk in and go pick my order up. So it's on those apps. You need to look at your tickets on there.
They put a tip on there.
They do, $2 or $3, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So if you're using that, be careful. I mean, I'll tell you what, I tell them, get your receipts and look at them. That's what you're going to do there. I mean, it adds up. And I'm terrible.
Sometimes the tip is more than the food.
Well, if you go with David West, it can be.
Yes, sir.
David's a good tipper.
He's a good tipper.
He's a great
I'm not telling this to be a smart aleck. Me and my sister and there's 6 of us went out. And the food only cost us $129, and I left her $100 tip. I said, man, Karen said that she looks like she needs this. I had a $100 tip. I'm not saying that to be smart. It ain't my money, no how. The Lord knows the dog.
Mm-hmm.
But she, that I thought of that when I went to pay for it, I figured it'd be about $200 because we all eat good. And they said $129. We had pie on the end. Went to Louis.
Yeah.
And $129. I said, shoot, I'm just going to start eating the tip.
You got me wanting Louis now. We need to go Louis today. Hey, Jeff Hayden, the attorney, former attorney friend of mine. So we go eat, and here's what Jeff does on tips. And he's like you. He's a good tipper. But what he does, he says, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay out $21 bills. And I'm going to tell them when they come to wait on the table, I'm going to say, now, here's your tip. And all I'm going to do is take away if I don't get the servers out. Puts a lot of pressure on somebody waiting on your table.
It does, doesn't it?
I've
You
seen
see him
you
start
take-
taking stuff
I've seen
away,
you
like,
take
what
a
am I doing
couple of
wrong?
Well, there are different ways to do that. If they get used to you doing good, they'll give you service.
Oh, that's
They
right.
say there comes a good tipper.
Yeah.
Oh, heck, yeah.
Yep.
I know one little girl in particular makes a beeline. Her table's west. I got to get his table.
She'll come to me.
Oh, I'm telling you.
I give her a tip.
It's almost like she's like
She comes
this.
to me.
How are you, David? Good to see you.
How come you eat my booth today?
Yeah,
What's
going on? Yeah. Oh, bless her heart.
We was going to Atlanta about 3 or 4 months ago. No, about 2 months ago, I guess.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? About 2 months ago, I was going there to see one of mine Hart's friends that helps us haul hay, and he's he's just one of us, and great guy. He's in the nursing home down there, and I knew he wasn't going to get to come see me because I was going to leave his mother's house to come stay. And so I said, just go see him. Me and Mike and his wife, Karen. We went there to see him, and we stopped at the Citizen Steakhouse. They got one in Athens,
Mm-hmm.
We stopped there and eat, and I left a good-sized tip. I don't know how much it was. We come back and had the same girl. We had the same girl, and we just eat buffet. There's 4 of us. And I was in there before that, and them people were so nice. They had some of the best vegetable soup, and I said, boy, I love that soup. And I said, I'd like to know how they make it. And Drecker, she went back and told the manager, and he gave her the recipe.
Is that right?
And they gave it to me. And, it was just so nice. So when we got through this time, I handed her a $100 tip. I said, I'll give her a good tip this time. And what I did was, she hugged every one of us.
I bet.
So we got hugs out of that.
Next time you go back, you know what you got to do.
But she said, I want to wait on you going down. So I remembered you all. She said, because you had a good tip going down.
Yeah. I remember that. And I also remember people like me that didn't tip them good. How do you want?
You've been to Super Chick.
Super Chicks is good.
Super Chick,
Yeah, it's real good. Yeah.
There's a little girl over she just kind of pitiful. She just would have a way to be good. And I didn't want to give it to her because, sometimes you can give something to somebody and they think you're hitting on them or something. I don't know that. I said, she walked up and I handed it to Karen. I said, give her this. It's a $100 bill.
Good for you.
And she stood there and cried. She said, you don't know I needed that real bad.
Well, you've done that for me a couple of times. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. That's right.
But anyhow, I told Karen, I said, if I was winning the lottery, I'd go out there and start giving. I'd walk into a big restaurant and give every waitress in there. I'd start giving them $100 a piece. Everywhere I'd go, I'd just take care of people.
Hey,
You've done that your whole life, David. Don't talk.
I feel a lot of people.
This ain't just starting now. You had
It's a giving heart.
13 years. You had soup kitchen.
Soup day.
Yeah, I started to say, you got a recipe for vegetable soup. You don't need it.
That's right.
We still got Alma. Now, Faye did her part.
I'm not bragging what I did. I'm bragging what the Lord blessed me with. And
I'll tell you want some good soup. I hate to give them free advertisement here, but the Soup Kitchen, they've got one in Maryville, Knoxville, Oak Ridge. They've got some good soup. They've got good hearty vegetable soup.
About once every month.
Hearty vegetables good.
Oh, that's what I eat.
It's good. I do too.
Cool it off, blow it off.
No, it's
I
great.
did pretty good. He threw it full of crackers or
That's right.
cornbread.
Yeah. Hey, where's my salmon patties, by the way?
We ate them last week.
Did you done eat them?
Yeah. No.
Lordy mercy.
She ain't made them yet.
I was talking to Steve, and Steve was telling me about it. I said, well, make sure I get invited to that day she's making salmon patties for David. He said, you put in a request. So, hey, y'all was talking about him last week. I sent a message. I'm waiting for him to send it back here. Marky is in Miami.
Yes.
The fiddle player.
Yeah, Marky.
So he's
Marky Violin.
He's supposed to let me know when he's going to be back in town.
I don't know what he's American. I ain't saw nothing like it. I don't know what
His brother's really good.
That's what
His brother's really good too.
He said, said my brother is better than I am.
Well, I don't know about that, but they're both really good.
Man,
but he's when he comes back, let's try to get him
the
come
more
out.
than I know about music, when you get to a certain level, I don't know who's best.
I wonder if he reads. I'm sure he does read music. He was here.
Yeah.
That's why he was here at UT.
How would he know it? He was better than his brother, I reckon.
I don't know. They play together pretty good, but but he's supposed to let me know when he's here. We need him coming back over. Bring him back over.
I'll tell you, I told it before, but this is amazing. People wouldn't believe it at stages as high as this.
Yeah.
And he was on that stage, boy. What is he, about 6 foot or 6'2"?
Oh, he's probably 6'2". Again, he's too tall and lanky.
Well, he don't weigh much. I mean,
No, he's skinny, but he
looks like I did.
wiry.
I was 6'2", weighed 145 pounds.
I'd say that's about where he goes.
He come up after that. He fiddled right up there at that stage. So you got to fiddle wireless.
Oh yeah.
Well, it went through a system.
That's what Rick has now. Rick bought his system because of Marky.
Because of him. Yeah,
he
that's
sure
right.
did.
You're right. Exactly right. He jumped over all the speakers off that stage, and that was woo. He got a hand for that, and played. And directly he come back, walked up that stage, and looked at it and jumped straight up in the air, 4 feet in the air.
Playing Billie Jean.
And hey, he didn't jump up and stagger, and then he hit that bam. He come down to hit it. He even jumped over it.
Now, you'll never see a doghouse bass player do that.
No, not with the bass in his hand.
Harmonica, maybe.
Hey, the doghouse bass players that I know, most of them lived in it.
Yeah. I kidded Becky about one day. She's playing, she's got that little skinny one. I said, what happened? Your doghouse bass get on a diet?
I'll tell you something funny. And this used to be, but I forgot who it was done it, and they had it on the TV show quite a bit. This guy come out with one of them big doghouse basses, and they had little, like little Robert, little midget on the show.
Oh, yeah.
And they had a big trap door in the back. They probably had the bass special made.
Yeah.
They'd walk out there and roll around, and did that door float, and that little dude jumped out and started playing the harmonica.
Oh, my gosh. That's showmanship.
That was act, wasn't it?
That's good. Yeah.
We got Wild Wings Monday.
Yeah, we're gonna the Justin Terry called. He's got a new CD coming out next week.
Is he?
Yeah, it's he's gonna.
That'll be the first one I'm back on, if good Lord's willing.
Well, we'll be there, and but Justin's gonna come over and sing a couple if you want him to.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
He wanted to see Phyllis. I was telling him about her being on with you last week, and he said, Kim had gave him a couple of songs when he was at Country Tonight one night. He met him up there. And so Justin's got a couple of songs he'd like to record at some point, but but he's gonna be there, and then you got your whole crew gonna be there.
We got the crew.
Phyllis supposed to come.
And of course, Crystal Gale, she's regular, and then Tara's called. She's coming in from Nashville.
Good.
So we got a bunch
So
of people.
You got Rick's the pressure's off Rick now.
Rick is going to be playing fiddle.
Yeah, his singing days is over right now.
No, he's got some pretty good jokes, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to be playing the horn too.
Oh yeah.
He's going to play the horn.
I didn't know he played.
I didn't know he played brass. He played all the other.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So he's got his horn. It's called
Somebody else I
Swanee.
can't stand it.
Yeah.
All that talent, plays everything.
Hate him too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and then Phyllis knows Mikey, the one from Three Dog Night. She knows him because that's where he lives up in that area.
He's supposed to get 3 Dog Nights.
Okay.
He's supposed to be with us. It's fair too.
Okay, yeah, we
If
got
you
that.
can, he's checking his schedule.
Yeah, I met with him at the fair. We've got a good lineup. So 11:30, 12:30, David and his group's going to be on there. I got some flyers out in the car. It's got your name on there. So September the 10th on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be starting. We'll start stuff around 10 or so, but you all are on from 11:30, 12:30, and got the whole crew.
At the same time, well,
yeah. I wish Russ would. We need to talk to Russ and see if he'll come over and sing a couple songs, play with you while you're there. But
if he ain't on the road, he would have been to Clinton with us, but he didn't get in till 9 o'clock. That more than that was.
Yeah. Clinton,
10 o'clock our time.
I'll tell you, Clinton does such a good job with the Anderson County Fair with their senior day. They put a lot of pressure on us over in Knoxville. I've got Russell Bevan will be back with me doing the bingo calling after y'all get done, and a little bit after y'all get done. But they do a good job of getting people up here in this tent at the Clinton one.
They do.
Well, y'all give away a lot of prizes, don't you?
We do. We give a lot of, they're called superlatives. We've got a lot of good sponsors and door prizes. In fact, I got a check in my pocket right now from Madison Insurance Group, who I work for, that's helping pay for part of it. But yeah, it's good. It's fun. It's free. Absolutely free.
A Fender guitar. I'm just about out of everything, you know, with that high dollar stuff. Yeah. I might bring a Fender guitar and just give it away.
Bring a Martin, I might want. It's going to be a Fender.
We're selling like hotcakes, and I wish you'd start going like Martin.
Yeah. It's senior day. I think it says 65 and older, but come on, it's absolutely free. And get goodie bags.
Hey, how'd you come?
Yeah, that's right. I need you to come. Sit back there with me while David's playing. I just sit back there and enjoy the show for that hour. But, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
We've played that several times, you know it.
This will be 3 or 4 times in a row this time, but I've had used you in the past and burned you up. Yeah. We've had to get them fans. I hope it's not as hot as it has been this week.
I used to play the Knoxville Fair every week, but we played over at Hamilton Theater.
Yeah.
I forget how many of the different buildings we used to play in.
Oh, yeah. Jacobs Building, Homer Hamilton, the Kerr Building.
Yeah, Kerr Building, we played there. I think
yeah,
we
they're
played
all that Pepsi tent where we're at now down there.
Dukes when they was there.
Oh, that's a big one. That was a huge one.
That's the biggest sellout they'd ever had.
Yeah. The concert.
The biggest daytime sellout Homer Hamilton Theater never been sold plumb out. And they were standing outside the fence and inside the fence.
Somebody needs to put that on YouTube because you've got that DVD of that, and people need to see how many people were there. I mean, they were standing up on the banks. And,
it was a CBS special, too. They showed it on television, you know. It's a big thing.
Ronnie, you playing this guy on Merle? He's going to be one of the bear with me just a second here. There's a guy, they just announced it this week, one of the singers that's going to be with us. And I'm not familiar with him, but he's supposed to be a really good sings good country classic type style, but it's Zach Top. Have you ever heard of Zach Top?
I heard he's new. Yeah, I've heard of him. I don't know much about him, but I've heard of him.
They say he's good. They say he's going on this, but he's going to be there on Monday night, September the 9th, as part of our concert lineup.
Okay.
Zach Top.
Where's he going to be at?
Tennessee Valley Fair. They're at Homer Hamilton. Yeah, and then Uncle Cracker's there on.
Uncle Cracker.
He's going to be there on Sunday, September 15th. Yeah. And then they've got some other.
What all happens in your tent where you are?
Well, on Tuesday for Senior Day there, we're going to have those sponsors, the Humana and a bunch of the people that give goodie bags and stuff away and information for those senior citizens. But we'll have a couple of fair acts will be there. And y'all will be there, and then we do bingo. We call bingo and give away prizes, and then we have what they call senior superlatives, which is really good. Oldest man, oldest woman, and we've had some there close to 100. It's really been good. We give those away. Most grandkids.
Don't y'all have gospel on one day? Or?
We did used to have. I've had you there when we had some gospel, and then you all. But we've kind of. I said I just haven't one on that one.
But you have other stuff there through the
yeah, throughout the week we've got all kinds of. In fact, on Saturday, I moved mine back. We're moving it back to 1 o'clock. We're going to start Mayberry Day on Saturday, September 14th. Now get this. After we get done with our stuff, it'll be Barney and Gomer. We'll do some routines, and then we've got some Opie whistling, or the whistling contest for youth and adult. We got the Opie look-alike, and then the Mayberry trivia. And then when we get done, I don't know what time it's coming on, but they're doing disco dancing with goats.
Okay.
They're going to, in the Pepsi tent there at the Tennessee Valley.
Okay.
They're going to have it somewhere. And I said, where in the world did you come up with that? And she
Dancing goats.
You dance with these goats. They put headphones on you, so these people are dancing with these goats. You may be listening to Merle Haggard, and he may be listening to Michael Jackson. But I said,
What are they going to do if that sight guy sings, "Come on, baby, do the twist"?
Uh-huh.
But I said, boy, I hope it's a better goat than the one that David let me borrow that time from Herb Newton Nissan that Brad went down there and videoed that time. Boy, that thing rooted me like crazy.
Bad goat, didn't he?
No, he was ornery, man. He bucked me everywhere.
He wasn't too much into commercials.
No, he wasn't too much into.
He don't like the limelight.
No, he didn't like Barney. And he
Ron did was there a goat in my throat. Remember that, Ron?
Yeah.
He was a pretty good old goat there.
Listen here, horned me several times. Oh man, and stunk. Then we went out there to the field and we picked one or two out and we couldn't catch them, and we caught this and put it in your truck and took it down there.
I got to tell you something funny. To go around back of the music barn, man, we'd hit full houses, 2 shows and that. Well, if you go around back, you got that ramp and had 3 swings back there. People just, at break time, they just swarmed it, and then there'd be some sitting there to go out there and cool off dancing and come back in, and that. This little young boy come out, and there's about 5 girls with him. Oh, he was strutting like a brand new rooster, He was strutting around. They said, "Oh, look, it's a goat." Because that goat come down the step, but he couldn't get where we was at because his fence and his gate there.
Right.
Said, "Oh, look what a pretty goat." Said, "Can we pet him?" I said, "Yeah, you reach there and pet him." Well, this little boy was going to be a big dog. He jumped in there and he was going to pet him all over, like get on his back, And boy, when he come off of him, he stunk. Just like that goat. He walked up to them girls and said, "Shoot, you stink!" I wasn't running off with him. He looked over at me so pitiful. He said, "What am I going to do about this?" And I said, "I guess take a shower." There's a creek right there. Sometimes they get down the creek and bathe. I saw them do it.
You remember we brought it up one time before about the Tennessee Valley Fair where they had them animals, them donkeys, and they'd go off the high dive and go into that water. Of course, Peter or whoever put a stop to that, but they had that little bitty pool below.
Yeah.
You remember? And they would go all the way to the edge right there. And the thing I remember about it, it was right up there near the Jacobs building, or Homer Hamilton, I think it was outside right there, but little Jimmy was there. Jimmy Hartsook was there. And,
we used to do Red Man when E.T. he was a big thing at the fair, He booked a lot of stuff. And E.T. would always get us to play the fair, and I brought some Nashville people in, and we had a big show one night, and that was when they had talking about the donkeys. They would kick a ball. You remember that, Ron?
They would kick, yeah.
Yeah, that's
play ball, yeah.
Yeah, it was like donkey soccer.
Donkey soccer, football, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Oh, they kick it.
I remember that, yeah.
They stopped a lot of them animals, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they used to do donkey basketball. You remember that?
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
I don't remember. I remember when I was younger up there at Norris High School, they had they were called the Redheads. And there's these real pretty red-headed girls, and they played basketball. They're kind of like a version of the Harlem Globetrotters. And that was pretty good. They used to have those acts where they do is it called mule basketball, or what was it?
I reckon.
No.
They'd ride on the back of them mules and play basketball.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, oh my Lord. But,
you come up with some funny. I'll tell you something. I just flat can't understand is they get in that basket and ride about 3 motorcycles.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. The Shriners Circus, that thing. That is crazy.
Yeah. See, I'm a Shriner and with officials that go down and help people. Played there too, I played for a lot of shows, but I hadn't been last year or two. But they get in there with a motorcycle. You saw it, ain't you, Ron?
Oh yeah.
Cage.
That's crazy.
Yeah, where they get like 2 or 3 of them in there and they're going.
Putting that in there.
It's like a death cage or something.
I mean, if I got in there, I'd wreck before I got started.
Well, it just takes one of them to be off just a little bit.
Yeah, and the rest of them are gone.
Well, that takes some practice, don't it?
I guarantee you. Yeah, I don't. I always the high stuff where they get on that with that pole and high wire. I always hated that. That scared me to death. I sat there watching. I went to Ringling Brothers one time, and I'd never been to a circus. They call it a 3-ring circus. Well, somebody that's OCD like me, I'm sitting there. I can't keep up because I'm wanting to watch the tigers over here.
I told y'all 100 times probably, but we worked for a little while for Circus Travel with him, and then back in 67, I guess, way back when I was young. And as if that big old guy that run it, he weighed about 450 pounds. And he said, I'm going to tell you something, David, about life. He said, whatever business you get in, he says, you ain't careful, your employees be wanting to have your job and give you theirs. Said, they won't tell you how to do things. If they could tell you how to do things, why ain't they got a circus? He's down on some of them. It's probably giving me trouble. He said, it's like me. He said, see that girl there? Boy, she'd built like, I don't know what she'd built like, but she looked good. She was walking a tightrope. He said, now, can't you see me on the tightrope and her sitting in there trying to manage this thing? I thought, well, yes, I could visualize it.
Wouldn't be half as...
Better be a bigger rope.
wouldn't be half as good of a vision, would it? No.
He liked me. He picked me out of that group. And he liked Jim Brewer. Oh, he liked my whole group. He just thought the world was, but he called him Frog Face. You had your name, whatever he thought about you, whatever you reminded him of it. Tell Frog Face.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know what he had me named. I don't remember, but anytime he'd see me, get over here. I got a lawn chair for you. He want me to sit there with him, see?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody else rocking, running around with the staff having a good time, and I had to sit right in. But he thought the world of me. He said, he took a liking to me, but well, he's had some trips. Well, I think back to some of the things I was on, the places I went, people and all, it's just unreal. And some of the things Howard made me do back when we worked together.
He gonna blame it on you.
It was one more life.
How many, how thankful are you to, what has it been, 3 weeks? When did you get out of the hospital? 3, 4 weeks ago?
Yeah, about 3, I guess. Yeah. I can cough and sneeze now.
I started to say is that...
I broke ribs.
How thankful are you? The soreness is wearing off.
I'm real thankful, and I feel better way better than I did before I went in there.
You highly recommend getting a new pacemaker and defibrillator if you've got an older one, right?
Yeah, I had mine 21 years. It wore out, I guess.
What's the warrant lifetime on them things?
Yeah, really?
It must be 21 years.
Yours is
about 21.
21.
Anyhow,
those people should be fighting for 20, 30 years, or 30, 40 years. David Earl,
I worked
trying
hard
to keep up with him.
Yeah,
he brought out everything.
No, I did hear her say when they was operating on me, and said that she said, this man's going to feel a lot better when we get all this in him. She said he's going to feel better than he did. See, first off, then a heart cath said nothing's changed on his heart, and he's got what he had the last time so many years ago. Everything's just the same, and he has no blockage nowhere. Said he's going to sure feel a lot better. He got this. I went to my checkup Monday, and they went I hadn't been back, and they said everything was hooked up real good, and everything looked good. Of course, I still got a big scar right there. It sealed them up good. I heal real fast usually. That's what happened. I had to have a defibrillator. So they first went in there and put a pacemaker, and it lasted 8 months.
You outpaced the pacemaker.
I was the pacemaker, and then that lasted 3 months, 6 months, 8 months. And they went in there and said, Lord, it's growed up. The stent growed up. And I got the first cutting stent that they ever had at St. Mary's. And because I know that the girl that was there when they put me to sleep, she said, I wrote your name on the wall over there. And I said, you did. Said, they had to come from Baptist to do what they done on you. They started cutting the stents out and put another in. Of course, that's real dangerous. They suck that blood out real quick. But anyhow, they done that and give me a year to live. He told me this, Sheriff. He said, we give you 1 year to live, and then we'll give you 2 years to live, and then we just quit giving you. He said, you're just a walking miracle of hearts.
Yeah. I hate to bring this up, but in 2005, I got diagnosed and wasn't good, and I asked the Lord to give me 15 more years like Hezekiah. Well, that was up in 2020. I've got 4.
You got 4 additional. You got 4 bonus years.
Yeah, I'm like, come on now.
Well, it was like with me, and honestly, I thought of that. When they gave me a year, it didn't bother me, and I didn't think nothing about it. And I thought, Lord, you're going to do me as good as you did Hezekiah. You give him 15 years, and I watched it. When it got up 15 years, I thought this might be the year. It went on past that, so that was in 2001. Now here's 2024, 23 years ago.
Yeah.
So it must have took longer. But she said everything in her was about wore out.
Well, I had my physical last week, and so my doctor is the one that did CPR on you back then. And so I was telling him about it, and he said, "Oh, yeah, you're talking about the Moneymaker's brother." So you ain't David West. You're Alma's brother. That's Alma's doctor, too, though.
I had my physical about 2 weeks ago, and then I had to go to the heart doctor, and they had to take everything out there. Everything was perfect. Everything, all the, whatever you call it, all your triglycerides and blood pressure is 116 over 60. Everything. He said everything is really good, except they thought my potassium might be a little high, and I got to go back and get another test in 2 weeks.
That's all fixable stuff. My triglycerides was 357, and that was good this time. That's terrible. It was 500 the last time.
He just said it was pretty good, but they want me to have one more test on to make sure they had it right.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah. Well, they.
But anyhow, the good Lord let me give me some more time. I guess He wanted me here.
But your energy level's good. You seem like your energy level's good and feeling good.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah.
Sugar had always been real good.
Yeah. Well, I'd say that the new parts you got in there.
See, I began getting heart flutters and it got my heart out of rhythm because they shocked me and didn't put me to sleep. But it had like a bomb going on. I thought the world ended. Me with it.
That's scary.
Man,
you think the Lord?
They didn't have time to put me to sleep. They just stuck it to me, boy. He said, "This might hurt a little bit. I mean, this may feel bad for a second. It's about 3 seconds."
Yeah. Yeah. Did you thank the Lord for these people that know CPR or nurses or something that's there?
Yeah.
Lord knows what He's
doing. That's at church. I walked in church and they said, even the preacher said, "How you feeling, David?" I said, "I feel real good." And that's when I shook hands with several of them, walked around and sat down. And this one girl's in a wheelchair, a real good friend of mine, her and her husband. He does our trees and stuff. And he does tree trimming if anybody needs any, Rockland Hughes. And so when it did, she said, she's in one of the big chairs. It's one got some power on it, but it's like a wheelchair. She said, "Get up there and give me a hug, David." You just shake hands. And she went over and she was on the first one, saw me. She said, he getting in behind that chair. He's failed. And her husband was the first one to me.
You remember it? Yeah, that's fine.
Just quick, I sat down. I just sat down. I don't remember anything. It was bam. Just like that. And I think I saw maybe my vision blurred or something. I might remember that, but I felt like
somebody told me that I forget who I was talking to.
3 times.
That had something happen to them here recently, and they said they gave them an amnesic drug so they wouldn't remember some stuff. I'm like, you got that? I think so.
When I had my knee operated on, when they took my meniscus out, that's what he did with me. He said, "We're not putting you to sleep, but what we're giving you, you won't remember what we do." I said, "Wait a minute, so I'm gonna be awake?" He said, "But you won't know it."
Ah, that's crazy.
See, they took me in there and they knew I had broke ribs. I didn't know it. They didn't think I did, or somebody didn't. I don't know. But the second time they checked and said, "Yeah, you got 3 on the left, 2 on the right," and said, the doctor said, "We're gonna have to operate on and take all that out and redo all of it." And this girl does it. She looks like a girl, but she's probably older. And I mean, she is really good. She said, "I don't put in batteries. I put in the whole units every time."
Oh, yeah.
And some of them don't agree with that, but she does. And Tom asked one of his doctor and said, "If you had anybody do that, who would you want to do it?" He said, "That girl." Said, "She is." Just like you said about natural born people, got talent.
Yeah.
And I remember Atlanta didn't have me ready. They first put me, when I come out, they put me on morphine. Oh, I asked that guy, he said, "Going to operate on you quick." And I said, "Operate on me?" That's when they told me I had broke ribs. All these broke ribs. I said, "You want to operate on me?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "We got to." And I said, "Well, what about these broke ribs?" He said, I'll just give you more dope. You'll be okay. That's what he said exactly that. More pain pills. That's what he said. I'll give you more pain pills. Or more pain medicine.
Yeah, morphine, what they give you.
Give me morphine. And I thought, I don't know where I was at. I don't know. I didn't think.
Do whatever you want to do.
I took my real trip.
My ribs is broke. My leg ain't been feeling too good either.
Yeah.
Gas me up, chicken baby.
I took some trips I'd never been on. I don't know. And then I'm hallucinating so bad, so he changed it to Oxycontin, I believe, or something like that. Oxycodone. He started cutting it down.
Mm-hmm.
I can handle some of it.
Yeah, Oxycontin's real addictive. Oxycodone, not so much, but yeah.
But my one doctor said Dave would never get on drugs or alcohol or anything. He said,
main thing is, main reason is you probably like it.
I know I have to have it when I'm fixing to get operated. I know I'm going to have to have it, but I sure don't want it when I come to.
No.
I act weird.
I like to know what's going on, don't you?
That's it. That's what people say. I'm never drank or smoked dope or anything like that. But I told them, I said, you know, I've barely got enough sense now. I sure don't want to lose control where I don't know what's going on around me.
That's right. Yeah. That's like the first time I had orthoscopic surgery on both knees, and I was still working. He said, you'd be asleep. Said, but, you know, it won't be that long. I said, can't you do it local? He said, well, I can if that's what you want. And I said, I don't like to be put to sleep. I said, because too much stuff, people ain't woke up on that stuff. He said, that's what you want. Yeah, I said, he started sticking them needle in the dead, you know.
You said, just give it to me.
I sat there and watched that camera, you know.
I didn't do that.
So next time I'd go in there, 2 weeks later, and had the other one done. She said, you put him to sleep?
Yeah, I don't want to know nothing. Yeah, that's good.
But I never did like to wonder.
I go to the dentist and I say, can I get the gas and stuff? They say,
put me out.
Get your teeth clean.
Yeah, it's like the first battery they changed on me years ago, and he said, you want me to put you to sleep or just deaden it? And I said, well, just deaden it. He said, you watch it on camera there, watch you do it. He got that in there and he couldn't get in. He had cuss more. I said, man, I hurt. Said, let me give you a little more shot in it. And they just took his hand, pushed it down in there in that pocket where they cut out, you know. I thought, good night. That's the way you did it. The rest of them, I went to sleep.
Yeah, they asked me about allergies. I said, yeah, I'm allergic to pain. I do not like pain. I'm kind of a wimp when it comes to that.
But I tell you what, I saw a lot of it. I've had a lot of it done, you know, but I was perfect health that when I was 58-year-old. They said, you're in good shape as any football player in the world, probably. And then had a blood clot. I'd been down playing for Eddie Arnold's birthday party. Me and Luke and Marshall Andy. I had to put my thing off after I got back, but I used to see I got feeling bad. We had to do it for the insurance person. John Deere just took over. And then I got hurt right in there. But he'd go away, and he said what it was a little bitty knot came up my main artery. He said, if you'd been taking a baby aspirin, you'd probably never done it. But he said, you was hot, and after working, and said a little bit of blood caught on it, and it started catching it, and then it cut the whole artery off.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, I was stout. Howard knows that. Me and him we done some really heavy work. So, and he's stout. He used to break the tools when he worked on them trucks. He broke the wrenches. And I didn't want him to know I was a little weaker.
I learned one lesson. You don't lift heavy furniture with slippers on.
That's a good lesson to learn.
That's some good boost, buddy. I tell you.
Well, me and him, we've done all kinds of things.
Marble top stuff.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, yeah. Antique furniture. It wasn't no fresh wood. This is pure oak and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to do. We're going to play a show, get off at 11 o'clock at night. Or we're going to do anything tonight. So just go sit mine.
Y'all are good friends.
Yeah.
Oh, hard stuff all night with me.
I left over midnight or morning, 4 o'clock, and go over, and I lived over in the field. I go over and take a shower and go to work. Go free, work all day, go back at night. What are we going to do tonight, David Earl?
Kill chicken.
They don't understand that, do
Yeah.
they?
Yeah. It got to where he wouldn't even say what's new.
I don't want to know. I'd quit talking to you, folks.
Just avoid him like the
I
plague.
called Ron and said, Ron, let's don't talk about it.
Yeah, let's just.
Let's say one thing. We had a lot of fun back in the day, didn't we?
Oh, buddy.
We eat good. We had a lot
That's
of
what
fun.
you knew, though.
I stopped by there to see my old buddy Ellie. I hadn't seen him in a long time. And I was coming home from work and I seen their name on the marquee. I said, I'll go see him tonight. So I sat back under my gas talking to him and Lord Jean. I never met David.
So you had never met
He
him?
walked in. Ellie said, David, I'd like to meet a good buddy of mine. He introduced us right then.
I mean,
I
we
mean,
just went to get like a team of mules, and probably the next day or two,
Yeah.
he was out there working with me.
Who you kidding, David? You just need some work, some muscle, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, I did. The Lord said to me right now, I need it bad that he comes to me.
You know, he's strong like the Incredible Hulk.
And then both had stronger backs than any other part of it.
A lot of his
That little
technique.
back we had up here.
Strong back, weak mind.
Yeah, my daddy used to say, it's not sometimes not how strong you are, but how your technique. How to do it. I was pulled in last night, and I had to pull in and back up. And I said, sit over and watch this and admire this. What my daddy taught me. And I said, use these mirrors. Talking about backing up. You have a trailer or anything on you.
Use them mirrors.
Something I can't get used to on this new car I got.
Backup camera.
That mirror, backup camera. I'll be looking at all the mirrors.
Oh, I know.
Let's see. Karen say, look at the backup camera.
They're cheating you. Yeah,
Now
I
look
know
at
it.
that. You go beep, 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 beep.
Yep,
You get
right
close.
there.
Yeah, I
I
learned
can't
the
get
hard.
used to that thing for some reason.
Learn hard way to use mirrors when you're driving.
I'll tell you one thing, though. There ain't many people done. They stack furniture off of step ladders.
That's
Stack.
furniture using
Carried
step
up
ladders.
Furniture on step ladders.
Mhm.
Kids on one side and on another, and carried it up.
In harmony.
I'm glad we done that third row.
Mm.
We didn't stack it too high.
We had nothing to hold to.
His mother brought a big old juicy hamburger up there, and we sitting there eating that, and he took about 2 bites, and he said, if we stack this 3 high, he said, I can have 2/3 this building. Start just one half. I stack this 3 high, we can get 2/3 this building. I said, well, if you
We
think
took
you
2
can.
more bites.
Were you selling furniture at the time?
No,
he's storing it.
They rented that building from him.
I got
I
you.
had it rented to a guy. These people moved out and left well over $1 million worth of furniture. It's antique, real high dollar stuff.
Oh,
It was high, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
That big price on it. Well, I didn't know who owned it.
Hmm.
They moved out from there and just left the building and all that stuff, and I kept it locked up. Well, we had to have a building to move out for the Martins.
Yeah.
See, it was taking the Martins in. And so I said, man, I've been hired one fire. I said, if we could stack this double, I might be able to use this building.
Mhm.
And so, but by then, the FBI had done come and said, asked me down on a building full of furniture. And I said, I want a building with furniture in it. From somebody, I don't know who it is, and he went up and looked at it, and he said, this is a very wealthy guy that owns this out in Texas, I believe he said. And he said, don't worry about your money, he'll pay you. And he told me, I think it's a year behind on rent.
Hmm.
They sent me a check, and he said, is it okay if I pay you every 6 months? I'm so busy, I'll forget it month to month. I said, yeah. I had the furniture.
Mhm.
And so he started paying every 6 months. He kept it rented, maybe 6 or 7 years after that, but we had it three high, we had plenty of room. Yeah, see.
Smart.
So I was either going to go get a building or build one or rent one. I didn't have time to build one because we was done fixing to move out the next day.
Smart.
Actually, it was a garage, where the
Yeah.
Martin is.
Yeah.
Oh, we had the heavy stuff in there. I mean, cabinets full of parts. And,
Yeah.
it was heavy, wasn't it?
Yes.
Loads. With what, two or three dump truck loads?
That's what we started at, moving that furniture. So you have half the building. Then we swept it out and cleaned it. Well, let's go down there and clean that garage out. 3 dump truck loads with tools and
Big dump
parts
truck
and
loads.
everything. Hauled it up there and placed it, everything.
Mhm.
Come back down there and he said, well, just 1 o'clock. She said, we go ahead and knock this ball out and he can start on it in the morning. I said, yeah.
He told
We
that guy,
broke out a concrete ball of what Martin and that.
you remember that guy said, I'll see you in about a week or two when
Yeah.
you get this tore out.
I'm glad I got to know y'all later.
Yeah, John Shimp, his carpenter, he said, Dave Jones said, why don't you start on this in the morning? I said, I'll have it ready. He said, call me in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't see what it would look like.
He walked in and looked at it and said, good heavens, y'all come in, y'all work all night. Just me and him. The other guy was hauling it off as we started it out. We had it ready, didn't we?
Yeah.
Good night.
So I tell you,
That's when I left at 4 o'clock in the morning. When I went,
She hard.
took a shower and changed room, went to work.
Go to work.
that's when you went to sleep on the job, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I got hard over it.
Sitting there and after lunch, and I'd overdone it, of course.
Yeah.
I pulled my toolbox up where it blocked my door. I thought, I was kind of dozing. Something roused me. I just looked down and I seen 2 big shiny shoes sitting right in front of me. I said, amen.
Did you?
My uniform said right.
Did he believe you?
I evidently.
You didn't get far, did you?
No, I worked 21 years at this.
The only time that Howard got a little, he wasn't upset at it, but he was wore out. And he said, you know what, David, that's what he said. I'll be glad the strike's over so I can go back on that vacation.
Yeah. Go back to work to get some rest.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, good. Oh, we're fixing to go into overtime. Where do we want to advertise everything?
Well, you got Monday?
What do you got going?
Wild Wings. You got
Monday at Wild Wings, Doug had one of the biggest crowds. He said sold out, couldn't get them in there.
Oh, good.
Saturday night, he had a homecoming show for August when we opened up in '66, and he may be going to do it once a month. Have 2 or 3 bands in there. Oh. Man, they was asking, when are you going to do it again? It was a humongous crowd.
Good.
There's all up in the upper parking lot. Not as big as when Ron played drums, but they were big.
We had some good.
We had to do 1, 2 of them, and some of them they had to park. I opened that that whole field up in the parking lot.
That's good.
It feel lit.
He had some good people. I mean, he's got some talent, buddy.
Yeah.
On them Saturday night shows, don't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah. Well, we used to have him it's unreal. But anyhow, he wants to thank everybody for that. And he's got his big show. I don't think he's playing every Saturday night. You'll probably go on the line and find out what nights he plays. He does have karaoke every Friday night. It's pretty good, he said. He's doing pretty good with it. But we got a lot of stuff on sale. We got some Martins. And call me if call Ron. He's got my number. He can give it to you.
I get you. We can get them fixed up with whatever they need. I get them to you.
Some of them low end was, and we're selling some of them at cost. All of them at cost, really. Yeah. Except a few that he's got in the store, but the ones I've got out there was what I'm selling for. Now, Doug is selling, he's selling them real low, though. He's got them cut way down there, but one of them tell him that you want one of them super deals you heard about on WYSH. He'll give you some of them. Got some fenders, quite a few fenders. He's got a guitar line that's out of sight. It's called Crossroads. It's the best instrument on the market for the money by far.
Oh, yeah.
Who makes it, David?
Leaderships.
Who makes Crossroads? Do you know?
Guitar for the money.
Who makes it?
It's a company of its own, and they put him in as a jobber down in this area, so he sells them to other stores. But, I mean, it's a company that I got hooked up with, and I bought so many of them. I was buying 100 at a time.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not going to let nobody have them close to you. I said,
Are they acoustical or are they electric?
Acoustic, yeah.
Acoustic, electric. They got both ways.
It's got a self tuner and everything on it.
And they're fixing to start doing, I heard, banjos and mandolins are fixing to start doing that.
What's it similar to? I mean, a Takamine or something like that? Or
yeah, it's in that category, but in the price range, it's a lot better than theirs in that price range. Because these are solid wood.
If you ever heard one of them, you'd be surprised how good them things are.
I sell them to a lot of Martin people that wants to go to a festival, do a jam, and I take them to Martin and play that. And I sold them to a lot of Martin people, took them out and sold them, Make money on them. Of course, I'd buy them 100 times. That guy said, what are you doing to them things? Stockpiling them?
Selling them.
I'm selling them. Man, I sounded like
Oh, you had a
I
deal,
heard some
buddy.
reading one day back there while I was up front.
Case. I said, that's $200 case. Now I go back and talk to David. You back there in the case or somewhere. Tell him what the deal was. I said, out the door now. It's got to be cash money out the door.
You got green stuff.
They're good guitars.
He called me yesterday, one B28. I had it. He come to the house and got it. Of course, Karen can write them up there too. We got sales books and we write them up either place on the stuff that I bought.
Sure.
Me, Doug's got a lot of stuff in there though. Man, he's got guitars and he just got a lot of stuff. Boy, he's got a bunch of used stuff, PA equipment in the back, big old speakers, $1,000. Some of them cost $1,000. He's selling them real cheap.
Okay.
He's got stuff galore back there. It just starts accumulating, But anyhow, remember him and what he's doing now. Him and another fellow are doing karaoke at these big places, and he has to be gone a lot through the day, so he'll have to close half days. He had to go yesterday somewhere. And if anybody wants any sound put up, he done a fire over here at Clinton this year, boy. I mean, it's good. He's done all kinds of sound. If you want some sound put up, he's one of the best. I have to say that. The first time I heard his sound system was in Dalton, Georgia for a big thing. I think it's 30,000 people. It's a huge thing. Man, it auditorium, balcony. I played one show on it. I played with that band. They had a Nashville band sound like. I got there one night. They just kept on wanting me to play. I said, I can't play. I was near my A Martin. About just a year before COVID. I said, I can't play. I ain't got no banjo. Before you play, I said, Gibson said, we'll hit one here tomorrow night. We want you to play. I went in, one of them banjo pickers, I knew him real well in Georgia. He sent his up there, said, tell David to put at least some licks on it. He probably got some licks as well. Drooled on it now. But anyhow, they made me pick with that band. Boy, they was hot. I'm talking about they was good. They was up toward the 10 mark. And they liked it. Oh, and there's a guy sitting in there, and he come up and he said, buddy, I got to say hi to you. He said, the second I heard the banjo ring, I said, it's David. He said, he played on my CD. And he was right. He wrote a song. It's kind of funny. We was in Cleveland, Chattanooga. Me and Luke went through there at Chattanooga, and Pratt Hughes had been begging us to come dinner and play for him. And so we took guitar and banjo, went down and played, and got up and done our little things and stuff. And then they put this guy up to preach. Well, he was preaching hard. I mean, he was really sincere, and he was really laying down. And Luke all of a sudden just jumped straight up. He said, folks, this man's working hard for the Lord. It's on CD, and then they asked me to play on it. So I played, and me and Luke both played on it. But you never know. I went to one of the doctors in Oak Ridge, foot doctor down there, to get a manicure, but I'll get my toenails fixed. First thing, here come a guy up, oh, you David WYSH, ain't you? I said, well, if I owe you some money, I'm not. He started laughing. He said, boy, I love you on TV. Had two, and I love you. I thought he was talking about the older TV show, and I said, yeah, we used to have it. No, you get it now. He said, that on Thursday. I won't miss that. He said, boy, that's a great show. I said, well, thank you. Two of them there, and I went to somewhere else. We went to eat, and they said, listen to the show, and they listened to it. I don't know, there's several people. There's a lot of people. They listen to it, so I guess so. Anyhow, I hope we help somebody, make somebody feel better, make them cheer them up. Because Barney told me something one time that's really stuck with me. A merry heart does good like a medicine.
Amen, brother.
That's
right.
One of his favorites, ain't Barney?
That's my favorite. That's my life verse. Merry heart does good like a medicine.
And I think about that a lot. When I start feeling a little down, boy, I tell you what, if you won't feel down, I'll get you some broke ribs. You can't lay down. You can't sit down. You can't cough. If you sneeze, you better think of a bunch of people you don't like.
Man. And don't laugh.
Don't lie. Don't tell
go in
no
there.
funny jokes.
Who was
Don't
in the
cough.
hospital
I
sometimes?
couldn't lay down one thing, and I couldn't stay in that either. And when I did, only where I could sleep, I just got up and started doing work, book work, different stuff. I could go to my office and sit in the office chair. If I sat in the office chair, I didn't hurt.
Yeah.
And so I finally got me a pillow and put it on the desk, and I slept my head on top of that desk for about a week. Boy, you don't know how thankful you are to get in a bed till you get.
Till you can't.
And there ain't much you can do about it. No, well,
See, that's what the
you got
one thing you
broke
could do
ribs, that's all
back
they
then.
say.
And broke toes, just tape it to the other toe.
Yeah.
You know, I've had most of them.
That's all I can do, really.
Hey, this is kind of funny. This lady come up to me Sunday, went to church, and she said, of course, I went last Sunday before that too, but I went this Sunday, and she was there. It works on me, and she said, I'm one of the ones that give you CPR. And she was talking about it. We're so happy to have you back, and all this stuff. And I said, well, ma'am, I'll tell you one thing come out of it. She said, what? I said, I'm not going to eat more ribs. She said, oh, yes, make it bad. I said, at the end of my rib business right there.
That's it.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I wonder how poor old Adam felt when the Lord took one out.
I know.
He took it plumb out.
I know.
Of course, he healed him up, I guess. He had the power to do it. And
Keith Whitley sang that song, I Want My Rib Back.
Yeah, I heard this on this guy in love, this girl, you know. She said something about it. He thought he said, I ain't leaving you. You're my rib.
That's right. That's right. There's a lot of power in that.
We better get out of here. So, do like Mr. Walker said. We used to go to church together sometimes. And he'd get up and say, now you be good to the Lord, and the Lord will be good to you. And that's what he said, drawing out of me, and I'll draw out of you. So
It's true.
he will. He's been so good to me. And I did get to feed people. My cousin said, you can't say my cousin didn't feed the mother of Jesus. We fed 40 to 60 people a week over soup.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Every bit of
Oh,
it.
I mean, they just block in there for soup and get your music and tell tales. And we had a
Soup
lot
was
of-
good, but it wasn't just about the soup.
Yeah.
It was getting to be there and around those folks.
I'll tell you, Ken Bonner is a guy, a few words.
Sunshine's the only one that's there every week, never ate a drop of soup.
He said, what do you think my name is? I said, Sunshine Slim. Well, what do you want me to do? Change it Sunshine Patty?
Yeah.
That's what he's always
It's
saying.
hard to say Sunshine Slim, not Sunshine Patty. Patty does. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Miss a lot of those guys.
Well, let's go.
All right.
All right. We'll call it a day. Back next week. You guys stick around here with us. This is Ask Your Neighbor on WYSH. Morning.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12. Or listen live online at WYSHradio.com. And remember, if you have a question, comment, or problem, call in tomorrow and ask your neighbor. Or email from our website. It's